Hello and welcome to another Raggy's Beers, Wines and Spirits review. Now this review is a beer review. So from Milestone Brewery, I know I've done a lot of their beers recently, but I bought about 7 beers from a local beer shop. So this is their raspberry wheat beer, which is a light golden ale, it says. It is out of date, but I don't give a monkeys about that. It's a couple of months out of date, so don't be too with dates. Don't worry too much about dates. If it's 2 years out of date, or maybe a year and a half, yeah, maybe there's you pour it out, have a look, sniff it, taste it. If it tastes nasty, woof down the sink, wash your mouth out. But other than that, don't worry about dates. So it says here, light golden continental style fruit beer with a subtle raspberry flavour. Crisp, refreshing beer. Alcohol content of 5.6%, which is, for fruit beers, is a decent, we're talking Raggy Avenue here, because I can't be done with these beers that are 4%. It pisses me off. Milestone, a brewery based near Newark in Nottinghamshire, who do a lot of good beers, to be fair, and they do homebrew kits. So you've got the beers, you've got the homebrew kits, and what's not to love about that? St. Peter's are another company who do the same sort of thing, and for me, I think that's great. So we've got a beer that looks raspberry in colour, doesn't it? I can't describe the colour. It's like a peachy red colour, isn't it? With lots of carbonation and lacing. The head's already dissipated on the nose. If I'm being honest, not a lot on the nose. Although I've just done a wine review, so I'm not pissed, but feeling it. Right, let's give it a taste. Now, I'm not a massive wheat beer fan. I can definitely taste the wheat, but I can also taste the raspberry fruit. But I've just also had a pomegranate, just reviewed pomegranate juice wine, and I've had 2 sausage rolls. So the first mouthful or 2 mouthfuls might be just a case of cleaning the palate. The strength, oh yes, definitely earthy. A real earthy taste to it. Now that may be because it's out of date, you never know. Or that may be the intended taste, so we'll see how it goes. Oh. So 2020 is upon us. Already made, I don't know about anybody else out there, I don't do New Year's resolutions when I'm pissed. Some people, I'm going to come off the drink this year, I'm going to do this. And it's all a lot of bollocks, isn't it, when you're pissed? Oh, I'm going to go to the gym. You get all these idiots, they pay for gym memberships and never go. Or they go a few times, think, stuff that. And I don't do that. But what I do, I looked at something I posted last year on Facebook, on my own Facebook. And it was about maybe looking for a new job. Going to more theme parks, and everything I said I actually did. So I was right in what I said I was going to do. This year, I can't say as I'm 100% happy I'm in the job I'm in. It's not a bad job for somebody who wants to do gardening and it's an easy life, and as long as they can do quality gardening, that the job I'm in at the moment would suit them. For me, the gardening, my quality of gardening is high anyway. That's not just being big-headed, it's because I am. it's not quite the job I signed up for. And then there's issues. I had an accident at work in a previous job, and then in 10 years ago, 9 years, oh, it'll be 10 years now, I left Nottingham City Council, and there's wrongs that need to be righted, and I was in a place 10 years ago with mental health issues where I didn't stand up for myself, and we were in an environment where everyone was as bad as everybody else, and I didn't stand up for myself. And there's wrongs that need to be righted this year. There's 2 wrongs that I'm going to do my very best to right, and one through solicitors and one through my daughter, although that may well go to solicitors as well on a no win no fee jobber, you know, and if I can win and get money back, then all dues. But I think also this year, yeah, new job possibly, and again, looking at the garden, I want to improve the garden even more. So I'm, as a gardener, never happy with the garden. I look, and I've worked on parks where, if you look at Nottingham City Council now and our parks, they are a shadow, a terrible shadow of what they was. When I started gardening back in as a professional gardener back in 1987, 88, 88 actually it would be, because that's when I joined it. That's when I went to the City Council. The standard of gardening on Nottingham City Council was so high, it was unbelievable. On the parks, on the estates, very different. Now the standards have all gone to shit, and I mean, I had some idiot at work today say to me, well, you took way too long doing that. I said, I'm doing it properly. When you do it, you probably can't see where you've been afterwards. When I do it, a month or 2 later, you'll still see where I've been. And this is obviously someone who's not a trained gardener. You know, he thinks he can do gardening, but he can't. And nice enough lad though. And sometimes quality should be paid for, whereas you get your slapdash people who do a job in half the time, but it still looks crap. It's barely, you know, and there's a lot of that about. I mean, at one stage, gardeners were paid as much as electricians, plumbers, gas fitters, all that sort of thing. We were paid the same wage, and over the years, everybody else has gone that way. We've gone that bloody way. Apart from gardeners who do landscape gardening and more construction-based gardening rather than amenity-based, and it's sad how this country's got. Anyway, let's get back to the beer, because it's 8 minutes in and I've only drank that much. Okay, now. So now it's on the palate, a little bit of earthiness still, but the raspberry is really at the front now. So like you would in a pub or at home, you know, I'm not in review purposes, but if you was in a pub at home, you'd get your beer, you'd be watching a film or whatever you're doing, you know, in life, and you'd be taking it easy, you know, supping it nice and slowly, because every beer should be an experience. We're experiencing what some company has gone to, you know, at least I would have thought quite a bit of testing to get a beer that they think that's going to sell. I mean, if I'm a beer producer, I want to get a beer that's going to please a lot of people to get the best sales for that beer. So I want a raspberry beer. This is obviously a raspberry wheat beer, but I want it to sell to the most. I want it to sell to people who love fruit beers, but I also want to bring in the people who will drink basically anything. And so if you're going to do that, you're going to sample different levels until you've got it right. I presume that's how it goes. Obviously, if anybody actually is a beer maker on who watches this channel. Because obviously, you know, there's people who watch the channel who look and think, yeah, he's talking out of his arse. Or, oh, he might have a point. Yeah. Because obviously, I don't know. I don't make beers for a living. I'd love to. You know, I'd love to make beers. But I also understand the working in Sainsbury's. I also understand pleasing the masses. When the beers went on £1 at Sainsbury's, the big sellers, the mega sellers were the likes of Spitfire, Marston's Pedigree, Braxby's Bitter. I think it was Braxby's Bitter. And there was a few that they did all the time that sold mega well. And then they did some that they had on £1, but they won't put on a pallet at the front of the store. Because I used to order the pallets in as well at some stage. You know, I'd got to that stage where I wasn't just a shelf filler. No, far from that. We'd order it in. We'd do a manager's job. We'd be managing our section, and I loved that. That was a fantastic. For 5 years, that was a fantastic job. Until Sainsbury's changed and ruined it for themselves, and still ruining it for themselves as well. The way they treat their staff. Retail. The staff in retail, if you think you've got it hard, the staff in retail, maybe not on a physical scale their job, but on a mental scale, I do feel sorry for them, because you get a lot of great staff who are pulled from pillar to post, and then you get arsehole managers who are such twats, but they treat the staff like shit, and no wonder people leave retail. And yeah, I think for the 5 years I was there, I made so many friends, and especially on the evening shift, it'd be going round. You know, you'd be talking to somebody while you're still working, and it was a good environment. You know, we had a good time until they tried to get everybody on the tills, which ruined it for those who weren't really bothered about tills. Some people love that environment, you know, the interaction on tills, and the likes of me, no. I'm all right on the shop floor. Tills, it's a bridge too far. Although, as you can tell, I'm talking to a camera. I'm all right talking to people to a certain degree. But, yeah, some of my friends, they absolutely love the tills. So it's a funny thing that is. Anyway, that's this beer. Again, off on a tangent. I do apologise. Oh, I've got to say, this is a very nice raspberry beer. It's not a Fruity type experience. Fruity is a strawberry beer that I've tasted both in bottle and on draft in a pub, and the draft version. It's like strawberry in a glass. It's like, oh my god. And it's alcoholic as well. It's like, wow. This fella is more subtle, but you're still getting that fruit experience, and it's going down a treat. I brewed a brew firm, I think it's brew firm anyway, a brew firm kit that was a raspberry beer kit, because you've got creek and you've got framboise. Framboise, I'm sure it was raspberry. But anyway, I'm sure it was a raspberry kit, and I brewed a raspberry kit, and that was fantastic. About £20, and you only got about 12 litres. So basically, you're talking near enough like £1 a litre. But, you know, sometimes you have to, if you're going to brew, sometimes the expensive kits are well worth brewing just for the fact, just to get that that cred, as it were. So this, I feel battered. I've done the pomegranate juice wine. I'm only halfway down this bloody glass, and wow, it's hitting me. Fucking hell. I was going to do a gin review, but I think I'm already too battered to get that to that stage. But you never know. 10 minutes and I might think, fuck it. Still getting the earthiness in the taste. The raspberries coming through nicely. The alcohol, 5.6%. I reckon because it's a few months out of date, the alcohol content has actually gone up a bit. It's not bottle conditioned, but I'm sure it's gone up a bit because it's hitting me like a bloody brick. I've got to be careful because if the wife comes home and catches me pissed up, I'll get a round of fucks. And sometimes, you know, the red card, it's not worth it, is it, blokes? I mean, I know there's ladies out there who do watch these reviews, and God knows why. But unless you love your beer, obviously. But yeah, if I drink too much, I'm going to get a red card. And a red card is basically, if you touch beer for a week, I'm fucking not happy. Luckily, because I am genuinely a decent person to my wife, and I love her. She knows I love her, and I get away with it a bit, but there are limits, and I can understand there are limits. So she's at the moment running. She's doing a 5k run, and bless her, she's took it on, and I'm so proud of her because I did a 5k run the other week with my son, and he bottled it. He was knackered, so I had to stop. But I tell you what, here's me thinking, in my 20s I was super fit. I would do a day at work, and I'd work bloody hard because we were on bonus in them days, and then I'd come home, and at that time I wasn't going out with anybody. I had no girlfriend, no friends, you know, sad fucker. And so I'd go out cycling or running in the evening, and I'd do, if I was cycling, probably 20 miles, if I was running, probably 5 miles, and I was as fit as you could get. You know, I was so bloody fit. And nowadays, Jesus Christ, if I did 100 metres, I'd be fucked. And it just goes to show you, you know, you might think you are fit, but you're not. Right, let's get this review over, because I'm obviously talking shit. Anyway. I'm glad it's not a Facebook Live review. Bloody hell. So, a lovely beer with a... the colour is a strange one. It looks orange on there. So we'll go for orange-ish colour to it. On the nose, not much on the nose to be fair. The head dissipated quite quickly. Yeah, I still remember. On the taste, very earthy taste. I've not come across a beer that's got that earthiness in the taste. Whether that's an intended taste or whether that's because it's out of date, I don't know. So anybody from Milestone Brewery, whoever watches this video in the years to come, you know, somebody might think, who's this dickhead reviewing our beer? But yeah, earthy taste, but after that, raspberry on the taste all the way down. A good strength. Wow. Yeah, battered me because I feel slaughtered out of. 5.6%. You know, might as well be 9% for me. Really feeling it. Really good strength on the taste. Good raspberry taste to it. So out of 5. Obviously, I already had a drink beforehand. I already did one review. This is the second review of the night. So, I have to put my serious head on. I absolutely loved it. I thought it was, you know, despite the fact it's out of date, which, you know, obviously I compensated for that. The taste to it, got a lovely taste. That earthiness is very different initially, and it hits you first off. You think, oh, this is a bit earthy, a bit soily, but after that, the raspberry shines through, and it is probably the best tasting raspberry beer that I've had. Bar what I've brewed myself, which was immense, the brew firm, like I've already said. It was really good, and a nice quality beer. Out of 5 then. Ooh, now we're in interesting territory. I'm going to give it a 4.5 out of 5. So, Milestone Brewery, raspberry wheat beer. There we go. 5.6%. You do not get many fruit beers that strong, and that's where I think they've got a winner. You know, it's craft beer. The date was September 2019, so we are October, November, December. Yeah, 3 months out of date. But to me, that doesn't matter nothing. 3 months out of date, nah, it's not a problem. But what it is, that is a very nice fruit beer. One of the better fruit beers I've tasted. When you look at fruit beers and ciders, fruit ciders generally 4%, and that's it. Why it's 4%, I can only assume there's a reason why they stop at 4%. Whether it's a taxation thing, I don't know. But for me, the stronger the better, and 5.6%, it ticks those raggy boxes. 21 fucking minutes for a review. Jesus Christ. Anyway, yeah, 4.5 out of 5. Thanks for watching. See you soon.